So last time we were doing Dark Souls 3 Fists only, we had some troubles, to say the least. So we've defeated every single boss that exists in the game, all of them except for 2, and those 2 bosses are not ones that I'm really looking forward to. The 2 bosses that we have, well, the one I am looking forward to, Gale is one of my favorite bosses. I love that fight so much, but we have to get through Half-Light Spear of the Church in order to get to him. And that's where the big issue comes in, because unfortunately, Half-Light is not, it's not a pushover. It kind of is when you're using normal weapons, and that's where like the big frustration comes in, because if you're doing a normal weapon, you have range on him, you have high amounts of damage. You can basically just, I mean, there's certain attacks you cannot take, but then otherwise you can just kind of brute force your way through and just, you know, Omega smooth brain your way all the way to the end. Unfortunately though, we can't really do that in this with fists only, because we simply do not deal enough damage to allow us to do something like that. So now I don't know if there's another, I guess I could go for some more physical damage absorption. That would help me to have actually quite a bit more survivability, especially since it's the +3. I would lose only 3 damage on my punch, which really isn't that bad. However, I don't actually, that's right, no, I didn't even want to do, I wanted to do Hornet Ring because I'm going to be getting a lot of critical attacks. Now, I'm going to give it a shot with this, and if this Lloyd Sword Ring is not able to work, if I'm like constantly being not at full health, then I think I'll switch over to a more defensive build of the Ring of Steel Protection. I could also, if I wanted to, switch over to the Sun Princess Ring. It's not great, it doesn't give you a whole lot of heals, but it does help a bit. So that's a possibility if we end up getting to that point. Ideally, we don't end up needing to switch away from that. Ideally, we end up getting this in like one shot, but I'm not so sure about that. The other thing you'll notice that we are not using our good stamina regen shield, and that's because we do not have that luxury with this. So let's go ahead and put on my bulkiest, strongest armor. Let's see, is that Dragon Slayer armor? If only we had, well, no, I was gonna say if only we had the Iron Dragon Slayer armor, but it's actually probably for the best that we don't, because we would not be able to wear that. Okay, so let's see. How much would this be compared to something like that? Oh, that's pretty significant. Okay, so let's go for just this then. So we look very fashionable. If we end up needing to switch out the ring, oh, actually that'll work out fine. Okay, cool. So unfortunately, we got to sit through this very tedious RP again. This was I think honestly the thing that made me the most annoyed with this fight, was just having to sit through this every single time. But the way that we have to do this fight essentially is through backstabs and parries, and by that I mean basically just parries, because you can't really get backstabs very easily after the first one on the Painting Guardian here. So ideally I want to have like 10 to 12 Estus for fighting against the Half-Light himself. Flop. We don't want this guy to get his heal off. We also got to be careful because he can do a decent amount of damage like that. And that's basically just lights out now at this point. Like, there's not really much of a point in continuing. That's right, and that's that stupid thing that I kept trying to parry. So I'm just going to keep going. I don't want to, because I know I'm not going to win this, but I'm going to keep going because I want to get some practice. I hate how fast that attack goes. It's so stupid. And like how it stun locks. I mean, like, how much armor am I wearing? And it somehow still stun locks me every time. It doesn't make any sense. Jam my fist in his face. But like this is the frustrating part. We have to kill this guy before we can really do anything. It just takes forever. I'm glad this takes a long time to go through. Nope, not enough time apparently. I'll just I'll just get stun locked, and he's healing. Alright, well, there's the easy part of the fight. Nope. So that's, we need to get these parries off. Nope. There we go. That attack is at least pretty easy to parry. So you can see, like, when we get a parry off, it actually does pretty decent damage. It's just that parry essentially cost us 3 Estus. And not only does he have this amount of health, but he has he's possibly going to be able to heal, which would, or I should say his friend is going to possibly be able to heal him, which would be just the absolute worst thing, so. Alright, not bad. I'm waiting for the make haste. Nope. That was kind of a panic parry. Alright. And once he does this, we can't really damage him. Alright, well, partial parry, that's fine. Alright. I think all that's doing is actually just like speeding up his casting speed or something. Okay. So when he's doing, when he's doing his stun lock for 18 years attack, literally cannot punish. Oh, right. That's right. We can't, I forgot that you can't parry the jumping attack. It's way too fast of an attack. Oh, it's so stupid. There we go. Essentially, at this point, I'm trying to get him to low enough health that he's going to start trying to heal, and then we'll just kind of let him start healing each time. I'm never going to get out of that habit. And then once he starts healing, then we can go in and punish him. Too fast. Just getting chain stunned. There we go. Honestly, the painting guardians are the hardest part of the fight. I didn't even realize, like, they're what, oh, cool. He's actually cheating now, because we can't hit him while he's in there, so that was, like, legitimately the painting guardian just cheating. I gotta stop doing that. Hitting the A button, or the B button. I am out of Estus, which means I guaranteed will not win this fight. It's actually impossible at this point. But I just want to get practice at this point. I have enough embers. Okay, well, that's real cool. Okay, so I can only go in for 2 punches. I can never go for more than that against the Painting Guardian. 2, get out. Ay. Okay. So, I learned a few things from this. First off, I learned that it is indeed true. I'm, like, never going to be able to use the Lloyd's Sword Ring effectively. And that's not exactly the fault of the fight. I mean, it kind of is, because you literally can't avoid taking damage sometimes when you're punching. Like, oh, I'm doing some attacks and all of a sudden stuff comes from 3 different angles and like stun locks me. So sometimes I just can't avoid some of that damage. But like, obviously the fight itself, it is possible to do without taking damage. It's just doing it without taking damage as fists only is probably one of the hardest challenges you could ever set for yourself in all of Dark Souls. Harder than a soul level 1 fists only new game +7 anything. So that's not going to happen. So in that case, I'm going to go for more tanky to give myself more time to actually do the fight. The other thing I learned is that those Painting Guardians, you cannot go for more than 2 hits against them. Especially, I should say, when there's the, when Half-Light himself is out. So you need to go for like 2 punches and then roll away. Otherwise, he's going to follow up with an insanely fast attack that you literally cannot possibly do anything about. Although, I wonder if that attack, it's probably not parryable, because the one that he's doing is essentially like the kick move, which is when you like flick forward and use your punch at the exact same time. But with certain weapons, it'll actually do like this weird like slash and then jump back. And so that's what that attack is, in which case I don't know if that's actually parryable, even if I had the right timing. Oh, whoops. All right, cool. Why is Half-Light coming out already? I've literally been fighting for 20 seconds, and I have done a singular punch against the Painted Guardian, and it's like, all right, that's the next phase. Let's go. Nope. 2, get out. 2, nope, get out. And 2, get out. Oh. Okay, enough with the stun locks. That was... Wee. Punch. No, don't kick. That was just rude on my part. Oops. Yeah, that one was too late. He interrupted. Okay, I'm starting over. Oh, not Shrine Bonfire. He interrupted himself mid-attack to do that heal. Like, that is dumb. Again, I'm just gonna say, you know, I say this at the risk of sounding like just someone who's getting tilted because a fight which is not really a very difficult fight is kicking their butt. But I will say this fight is genuinely the worst fight in all of Dark Souls, and I will stand by that until I die. Like, this is truly such a horrible fight, and I really would like to know what the developers, like, what their intention was. And I don't mean that as a, you know, like, what were they thinking? Those, like, I mean as a person who enjoys boss battles, as a person who enjoys video games and game design and the logic that goes behind them, and the logic that goes behind the actual designs, like why things, why certain decisions were made, I would like genuinely love to know why this fight is the way that it is, why they thought like, hey, you know what, this is a good fight that we're proud of and that we think like actually is something that people will enjoy to play. Because I mean, when you make a video game, your goal should be at least for people to get some level of enjoyment out of it. Otherwise, there's genuinely no reason for them to be playing. I mean, that's why games like Getting Over It is kind of strange to me, because you don't really enjoy the gameplay, but you do enjoy the like, oh, I climbed up this mountain. You hate when you fall back down the mountain, but you're like, I finally figured out how to get up this mountain. And of course, then when you eventually beat the game, that's the part that you really enjoy, is when you're like, oh, I finally, after all of this horrible effort, I finally made my way all the way to the top and beat the game. And so, you know, that makes sense. But like, then you think about something like this fight, and it's like, I struggle to figure out what exactly the design decision was. What exactly the whole point of all of the design of this fight was, like why it's designed in such a way that you are constantly getting hit by everything. Like, you know, I mean, there's just all of this just like excess damage happening, and I can't really react to any of it. You know, the Painted Guardian here attacks so fast. There we go. The Painted Guardian attacks so fast. Like, Half-Light isn't even really that much of a problem, other than just constantly getting shot by arrows or whatever. Whew. There we go. So it's like, it's a weird thing. I mean, I guess they're maybe going for like a PvP Ornstein and Smo type thing, which is, if that's what they were going for, it truly did not work. Whoops, I don't know why I'm like panic parrying. There we go. I need to wait for him to actually do something, and then I can go for my parry. All right, heal up. Nope. All right, this is the time where we just kind of run away. He's going to do his bow, which means we get a moment to kind of catch up and get just a few regular punches. Nope, never mind. Not even that. There we go. And I would go for him there, but okay, well now we gotta wait for him to finish this. I don't actually know how you, like, get him to stop doing this attack, because he does track you with that, so it's like... Oops. So it's like there's not really anything... Okay, regen your stamina, please. There's not really anything you can do to stop it. He just kind of sits in this phase for anywhere between 5 and 40 seconds. And that's that much time that you're literally just not able to fight him. It's really weird. Nope. That one was on me. Okay, stun locked. Whoop. Cannot parry that. I would have thought that parry was... I mean, it would have been a partial parry, but it still should have been an actual parry. I'm not sure why it didn't get the parry. There we go. Alright, good. Those things will get wasted. And now make haste. So now this is the hardest part of the fight. Nice. I don't know if you could hear my frantic controller clicking there. Yeah, stop it with the freaking arrows, please. Alright, dodge out. I've got to be super careful during this phase because any second he can try and do a heal and that will invalidate so much of my work. Oh, cool. Getting hit in the head with that tiny baby knife and it just ended up stun locking me because I got hit in the head. Okay. Alright. Do yourself a favor and watch Matthew McConaughey do interviews. 9 times out of 10, the first thing he says on the interview is, alright. And then he goes, did you know that was the first thing I ever said on television? Alright. It's like, alright. Good for you, Matthew. Oh my gosh, I hate this fight so much. Ugh. Let me heal, let me play the game. I'm not playing WoW PvP, I'm trying to play Dark Souls. There were some loud clicks on my controller. Yeah. I mean, look at this. I have not been able to damage this guy for at least 3 minutes because every time I go in, I either get hit with an arrow or I get hit with this guy doing his 18th rotation of his spin attack. Or I get hit with one of those knives and it stun locks me. Alright, now he's going to try and do the heal, right? Ooh, a nice counter hit. Alright, come on, do it. I would love to go for a backstab, but that attack, the heal literally goes off within like 1 second, so you do not have the opportunity. Alright, good. We're putting some space between half-light. Nope, I got greedy and went for another hit. Nope, I don't. Parry. Yeah, I don't think it's actually possible to reliably get any sort of parry against the Painting Guardian. Ow. Stun locked. Don't get too far away. I don't know what that saving icon's popping up there for. Nope. He put his weapon down like that. I was expecting he was... Okay, calm down. I was expecting he was going to do the heal. There we go. Alright, well, unfortunately, there's no way that we're going to get this here, but this is at least a lot further than we've gotten, so... Pfft, that's cheap. I mean, a partial parry, that's decent. I would like to get actual parries so that we can not die. There we go, like parries like that. So if I get close, I will use my Divine Blessing, but there's no more Painting Guardians that show up, so we are down to the end of the fight now. Whoops. Alright. Or at least there's not supposed to be any more Painting Guardians, but who knows. I've never had this fight last this long, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have like 3 Painting Guardians show up just because, you know, that's because fun. panic parried again. Nope. Okay. Alright, I'm dead. Nope. I got lucky. Alright, let's get some distance and check how many of these divine blessings I have. Nope, this is the only one. So it has to be on a successful attempt that I use it. I'm not gonna... I mean, I'm sure I'll like to have one on Gale, but I'm not gonna need one as much as I need one on this fight. Once again, it feels like we're just playing WoW PvP. All right, that was a very early parry on my part, so I got pretty lucky. So I'm gonna need to get like 2 more parries in a row, like perfect parries, before I can consider doing a divine blessing. That's one. Just gotta take it nice and slow. Just doing his arrows. You know what? I better beat it on this attempt now. Let me see, do I have any other healing things? No. Repair powder, wait. I'll repair my fists. If you use repair powder on your fists, would that repair your wounds? Alright. I can see that you know how to do this attack, sir. You can do something else. Well, when I was saying something else, I meant, like, not that one. Alright, arrows are fine. Good. Alright, we need 2 more parries. Or 1 more parry and a few hits. Actually, maybe that is just 1 more parry. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh, please, maybe. I don't think that's enough, but that's close. No, is that? Yes! Oh, we did it! Oh. You guys have no idea. You have no idea how little I was looking forward to that. Every day I've been looking for, every stream I've been looking forward to doing Dark Souls 3 Fists Only. It's been like, okay, I can't wait to do this because I get to see what new stuff is going to be really tough. I get to kind of experience trying these boss fights for a really long time and see how crazy some of them get with low range, low damage. This fight was like the only one that I had always been thinking like, this is just going to be really bad and I'm going to get frustrated and get sad and everything. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sort of, you know, I'm going to sort of just grin and bear it. And so eventually I just decided, all right, fine, let's just give it a try. And well, so that was a few streams ago and we had a really, really rough time with it. It ended up being a real mess and I ended up having to take a break and say that I would come back later. So I was fully expecting the entirety of today's stream to be able to be that fight because it is such a nasty fight. But that was what, like 3 attempts? We only did it in like 3 attempts. The last time we streamed this, it was like 15 attempts and we kept dying and I ended up just getting too angry and was like, you know what, I'm done. I quit. I'm never playing this boss again. I don't care what happened. You know, I pulled a Germa and said I would download a mod that got rid of just this boss, which is funny because I have downloaded mods that have gotten rid of that boss. It's just also other bosses. But, you know, we got it. And all it came down to was some really good parries and some lots of patience and also some getting very annoyed at those painting guardians. I mean, the funny thing is the painting guardians were more dangerous than the actual boss. I ended up using, I think, 10 to 12 Estus just on the painting guardian phases versus the 3 Estus and 1 divine blessing that I used against the actual boss. First try, easy, that's right. No problem at all. Let's see, do you have any divine blessings? No. I haven't picked up any ashes, so I wouldn't expect her to actually have any. And I don't think... Let's see. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Did he have embers? I don't even... 3 embers, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna need 3 more because we're already at 9. But I'm gonna check that one old lady, see if she has one. And you can see at this point we're not using our Flynn's ring with no armor anymore. We were using that in the first few episodes, going for low armor, you know, just as high damage as possible. When we get to these later fights where they can hit you with a single attack that stun locks you into a second attack and, you know, one shot you there. Yeah, because of stuff like that, like we're at the point now. Okay, we can't find anymore. We're at the point now where it's like, okay, I think I would rather just have the armor be able to actually survive all of these hits. So you know, we're going with a bit lower damage, but that's fine because this last boss that we're going for is one that I can do with lower damage. But not going to be easy. You know, again, I am pretty sure I'm going to die at least a few times. Now, I could be wrong. I could one-shot it, but probably not. So we'll see. But thank you guys for sticking through me there with the with that fight. That was a mess. So I've been doing a little bit of editing here and there of the this whole series, this FIS only. I have no idea when it's going to be done because I've been going really slow with it, just because I do like an hour or 2 of editing and then I do something else and I just don't come back to it. So right now we've gotten through the first, we've gotten through the first 3 bosses, I think 3 or 4. I believe it was 3. So we we still have a ways to go on getting even one video out, and it's one of those videos where I'm gonna edit it, do like a rough edit, and then I'm gonna go back through and add in a bunch of stuff, and then I'm going to do one more run through of the video and see what more stuff I should cut out and what stuff I should add. So it's gonna take quite a few times, but the first edit is like usually the longest part, just actually going through everything. Really, the later edits can be the longer parts depending on how much editing you actually do, but I don't like to do crazy over edits. I just like to have, you know, a decent amount of edits. I was rewatching a bunch of my old videos. You know, call me a narcissist if you want, but I'm pretty happy with like my newer wave ever since the Fallout 4 video, going on to the most recent ones. I think all of those are great. I've been watching a lot of the ones before, and those ones aren't as great. I used to think they were great, but not so much anymore. But I was really happy with how those other videos were edited, and they were like taking 3 to 4 hours of stuff and cutting it down into like 15 to 20 minute segments. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, is take a lot of video and cut it down into a more digestible chunk. All right. Ooh, the dodge move. Call him Sister Freed. So it's pretty low damage, as you can tell. Also, we're having some troubles actually even hitting him. Oh, that was yeah, too early on my dodge. So I've got to take a little bit of time to kind of get used to his moveset. It's been a while. I usually just kind of blast through this first phase, so you know, it's kind of tough. He also, unlike a lot of other bosses, I did that again. He staggers based off of a mix of total damage as well as amount of hits. I mean, some bosses will, like, you know, like Nameless King, for example, staggers a bit more based off of the amount of hits he takes. So that's why, like, with FIS only, we were able to get like 2 or 3 ripostes versus Gale. You're not really able to stagger him very much. I mean, granted, we're going to get a lot of staggers throughout this phase, but it's going to take like 10 to 20 hits in order to actually stagger him each time. So he was about to do his angry rampage move. But yeah, Gale is truly one of the best fights in the game, and not only just because of the actual fight, but because of the lore, which I don't quite understand. But it's essentially like you're like at the end of the world, and he went through killing everything and everyone he saw, like completely destroying the world until he got the blood of the Dark Soul. And it turns out even after he's done all this, he still hasn't been able to get it. And so then you show up and you're like, he's like, oh, I have to kill you to get the blood of the Dark Soul. Because he's kind of gone crazy at this point. Like, he's like eating people alive and everything. This is the same guy that pulled us into the first DLC that was just a normal humanoid guy, the Slave Knight Gale. And you can see he's a bit more monstrous now. So, that was greedy. I'm lucky I didn't get punished. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool fight. I mean, he's not anyone crazy. He's not like, you know, oh, he's the son of Gwyn. No, he's literally just nobody. He's just some rando who met with some girl in the painted world who was supposed to make the next painting, and she was like, hey, can you get the blood of the Dark Soul for me to paint with? And he's like, okay. And so that became his goal. He's not anyone super special, and you're kind of the same with you, you know, like as the player, you're no one special. You're just this guy that came out of a tomb and got set on this path to bring all of the Lords of Cinder to their throne so that they could link the flame. So, you know, you're it's two nobodies fighting at the end of the world, and there is not a more fitting end to the entirety of Dark Souls than that. Ooh, look at him go. Ah! He sounds like Osiris. Oh, Salah! Oh, whoops, I was a little too close there. Ah, ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you, of my beloved Ocelot? So yeah, the toughest part about this fight is just going to be that it's going to be a really long one. Still not as long as Yorm the Giant. Although, I mean, maybe, honestly, because Yorm the Giant took, I think, 15 minutes even, and we were able to get a lot of hits on Yorm. Ow. I got unsynced pretty bad there. Hey? Alright. Gaily boy is, he's kind of going nutso right now. Whoa, did not expect him to do another hit after that. He almost never does. So going into the second and then later on the third phase with so little Estus flasks is really not good. Okay. You know what needs to happen is I need to stop trying to heal when he's like in the middle of combos. I need to get some real big distance. Okay, there we go. This is a time to heal because he's not doing anything. And then I need to just not panic roll. Dodge, 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 dodge. Whee! All right, there we go. Phase 2. This is where a lot of like tiny hits are very easy to get, but it's fairly easy to dodge his like main attacks. Okay, I say as I just walk into that. But like right there, his cape does like extra damage at the end of it, so gotta be careful. All right, heal. It's Arbalest. Nope. But this phase is basically why we're not going to even really bother to do the Lloyd Sword Ring, because there's all sorts of like little bits of damage that you can take. So it's possible to stay in for that attack, but it's really tough. So for his AoE, so I usually try to get some distance. Oof. Yeah, that's... See, and when he does a swing from that way, you actually want to dodge, like, into his swing, because otherwise you're going to get hit by his cloak, so... Pretty much all the time you're going to want to, like, dodge into his swings. I always get hit by one of those arrows. Oop. Crap. Bad. Okay. I very easily could have gotten punished for doing my heal there. Nope, dodge left. Nice. Good stagger. Just dodge into him or run away from him when he starts that attack. Oh, alright, good. Once again, lucky. I got too greedy. Oh, did not realize he was doing a follow-up. I don't know why I didn't think he wasn't. Ah! Alright, heal. Oh, wow. He's got a lot of bolts. There we go. I finally avoided getting hit by just one of those little arrows. Alright, yeah, that's fair. Dodge left. Dodge right. Nope. Alright, I'm trying to get him into phase 3. Although, I mean, it's not like things are going to get any easier when I get to phase 3, to be brutally honest. So, I basically need to make it the rest of this fight without getting hit more than like 3 times. I say as I get hit once, so now more than 2 times. More than 1 time. I can't get hit. Okay. Don't worry, we got this. Everything's going A-okay. He's just walking away menacingly. What's he doing? Oh. I tried to do that without dodging by just running around him. Usually, it actually does work, but only if you have the right speed beforehand. So, and I started running like halfway through. So now we have an Ember as an extra heal if we need it. I'm not going to even bother with getting my my souls. And here he comes running up like a gorilla. I love that run. It's so cool. It's so creepy. So yeah, this first phase tends to be my my hardest phase just because he's got so many really tough moves. So we'll see how it goes. Oops. I just realized I think I do have the Lloyd Sword Ring on. I'm not going to check right now because I'm in the middle of fighting, but I think I do. Oof. Lucky me, I got super greedy there. So normally I believe it's possible to do pretty well in this fight if you actually like use your shield to block, but that comes with a few caveats. One of them being you actually have to have enough stamina to do like an actual block. Let's get some distance so I can Estus or Ember here. There we go. You need to have enough stamina so that you can make a full block without getting staggered. Or without getting poise broken, and you also need to have a high enough stability shield to do that. And high enough stability shields also end up weighing a lot, which means I would need to either axe all the armor, or I would need to get a lot more vitality, which I also can't do. So, you know, it's kind of a bit of a catch-22. So as it stands right now, I'm not wanting for more stamina. My stamina is perfectly fine, and I'm wearing almost the heaviest armor that I can. I could get better armor by getting like Havel's armor, that or the old Iron Dragon Slayer armor, which comes from killing the Dragon Slayer armor in the Ringed City, but we don't really need to do that. Yeah, I mean, if it gets to the point where it's like, oh hey, maybe we should think about better armor, then sure. But I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, because this fight is very reasonably doable without getting hit hardly ever. Realistically, if I do this fight right, I could make it through the whole thing with like at least half my Estus back. Obviously, if I do it right, I wouldn't get hit, but I mean, like if I do it well, like as well as I know I can do it, then I could make it through with like half my Estus, no problem, if not more. But obviously not when I'm making moves like that. Dodge. Punch. I love that attack when he goes leaping away. He's almost phase 2. Gotta be careful not to get hit extra times. Oh, I went for a greed attack there because I was sure he was going to the next phase. And I'm glad that he just delayed his attack, because otherwise I would have been in danger. Cool. There we go. All right. Phase 2, lots of Estus. Let's do it. Ba, ba, ba. I did the thing that I said not to do, where I dodged into, or I dodged away from his attack instead of dodging into it. Which is, I mean, it's possible to successfully dodge with, if you do that, but a lot harder to do than usual. If you just kind of dodge into it, you avoid having to deal with the cloak. Oops. And like there I oh well, there I just didn't even dodge, but the first time I tried to dodge into it, but I got stuck on his Omega thick model. Alright. And I'm in such a bad habit of always dodging to the right, which is why I keep dodging the incorrect way with a lot of his attacks. It's so tough to actually hit his model with these. Nice. At least during this phase, during this phase he staggers pretty easily, so you can get some pretty good damage in, as long as you can be close enough to hit his model. I think actually what's happening is when he's putting his sword behind him, it's actually like blocking me from hitting him. Okay, well, sometimes also his hand. Which is, I mean, to be perfectly honest, is actually like pretty great hitboxes. Like really, really good, because he's not just like a square hitbox or something. He's actually a his hitbox is actually his character model. So it's very impressive. Not many games will do that. I went for a very big greed punch there. I'm glad that it paid off. Chair, save me, chair. Good. Maybe okay, so I think I need to reposition after I dodge that attack, because I keep ending up failing to hit him immediately after it, which is an issue. Oof. I was pretty sure I hit B there to dodge. Alright. White. Way of the White Corona, I think that attack is called, or something. It's something with Corona. I don't remember exactly what. Once again. Alright, well, at least, so the first punch at least is like, usually, I mean, it's also not hitting very often, but if there's ever one of the attacks to hit, it's going to be the first one, because that's like a much wider range. The backhand is like a super short range, so it's not always working as well. Oh, of course, then the backhand was the only one that hit, so what am I talking about? I'm just speaking nonsense. Alright, he's about to stagger again. Probably this hit. Nope. It was neither. Let's heal up. He's almost into phase 3 now, so I can get ready for a few free hits whenever he starts channeling his AoE. Wow, I'm surprised he's not staggering at this point. I've hit him so many times in a row. Alright, well, now is the time to get the free hits. Oh well. Alright, so this is basically just the same phase, except now there's also going to be these lightning strikes, which will hurt me. They'll also hurt him if he's in them, but it's not very easy to actually get him in those, so... It's possible, though. You can see that it's just, you know, it's also 1 damage, so... It's not like we're really going to be doing a whole lot with that knowledge. Knowledge. I'm here in my garage with my Lamborghini that I earned from my knowledge. All right, get away from me. So he pursues you way, way more during this phase, so you got to be careful. All right, I should have just dodged there instead of just running around, but I'm glad that it worked out. I love that attack. Oh, I love it so much. He jumps up and starts shooting at you with his arbalest. It's so cool. Right, heal up right here. I keep hoping it's going to be just enough to bring us to full health so that we can get our Lloyd's Sword Ring. It might be worth switching away from the Lloyd's Sword Ring when we get to this last phase. Greediness. Greediness. Alright, AoE. And charge. There we go, perfect. And now we're back to full health for probably about 3 seconds. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Those were some very lucky moves on my part. Oof. Alright, no longer at full health, but I did get 2 punches out, so it was still not worth it. Alright, you know what? Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, it's fine. I was going to switch away from the Lloyd's Sword Ring, but I think we'll be fine. Alright, there we go. Because we're not really having any luck with being at full health anyways, so we may as well give ourselves a little bit more survivability. Oh, right. I forgot during this phase that AoE attack does that. Alright, well, things were going well, and then, I mean, this is all... Genuinely, this is all my own fault, the hits that I've been taking. I'm just, playing pretty dumb. Get away. But, I mean, you can see he's getting pretty low on health, so it's not like we're, like, just constantly dying. I mean, this is way further than he, was last phase, or last time, so... Yeah, the damage, the health that he's at is lower than he was at the last phase, which was at a higher health threshold. You know. Some airtight logic. Ouch. So, I mean, really, if we can avoid just getting hit for quite a while, we can do this fight. He's only about, like, 30 punches away, so, 30 to 40 punches. But, that is still a lot. But really, whenever he does those AoEs, we can't stay in and attack him, because, they're gonna create a bunch of lightning strikes. Wow. Alright. This is fine. Nope. Nuts. I was hoping I was gonna have, just like a tenth of a second more to dodge out of the way. So I like actually cannot afford to get hit by pretty much anything at this point other than maybe his cloak once or twice. But if he hits me with his sword, I'm very much dead. Oh, somehow not. But now it's literally even the tickle of anything will kill me. As you can see. All right. That fight is a long one. Very, very long fight. So, I'm going to keep on the Lloyd's Sword Ring for the first phase, though, because that actually was working out really well. And then during the second and third phase, I think I'll take it off so that I can have the more survivability, because I'm not really finding good, like, that entire second and third phase, I got maybe 3 punches with the sword ring off, which amounts to not even, like about, like, half of a regular punch. So, that's totally not worth it. Ooh. interesting. I think he hit me with like the hilt of his weapon. All right, let's get some distance and heal up with this ember. He's gonna get me. Whew. Hi, nice up close and personal. So yeah, whoops. His attacks are like really tough to learn. All of this is because, so I went through at one point a long while ago and did a New Game Plus 7 run, like working all the way up to it as well, like going from New Game to New Game Plus to New Game Plus 1, or Plus 1 to 2 to 3, whatever, you know, all the way up to 7. What is going on with my dodges? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I suddenly just have absolutely lost the timing. Anyways, so I did this fight, for example, on New Game Plus 7, and this first phase was always the part that got me killed. I could always do the other phases pretty easily as long as I had like a few Estus, but this phase was just an absolute nightmare, and it's because he attacks like so sporadically. You can see, other than this attack, which is very telegraphed, all of his other attacks he kind of will do, like you basically have to wait to see very particular animations start in order to know if he's going to do them. And so you can see a lot of his attacks in here are just so tough to dodge because they feel like they just kind of come out of nowhere. Like right there, he wasn't even looking at us, and all of a sudden he swung back behind us, but I knew it was coming because I saw him start up an animation while he was facing away. So it comes down to a whole lot of practice, which is exactly why I'm able to do this fight as well as I can. And by that I mean not super well, but at least well enough to last like 10 minutes. You know, getting greedy. So it's a very cool first phase, and once you actually know his attacks, it's like super satisfying. The second and third phases, his attacks are way more telegraphed, so it's super easy to know when certain ones are coming. But this first phase is the super hard one. Like that attack, like it's so hard to tell when he's doing his second one because he barely telegraphs it at all. There's another greedy third hit, and I was hoping to stagger him, and it didn't, but it ended up working out. Alright, he's almost into the second phase. I'm going in with 3 less Estus than I had last time, which is not great. Possibly even 6 less Estus, I guess. Or 4 less Estus. I got myself confused about the numbers. Hopefully not 6 less Estus, because that would mean we're basically like what we were on the first time. And we can't really afford to have that little amount of healing. I mean, we can, it's just way harder. I don't know how I actually successfully dodged that. That really didn't look like it should have been one. So if I wanted to make this fight take like 40 minutes, I could switch to the Sun Princess Ring and just let that heal me, because that does like, I think like 2 health a second. But considering I have like 2,000 health, I mean, you know, 2 health a second is absolutely nothing. Wow, he really was just 1 punch away. Alright, oops. Alright. Get myself some more physical defense. I think some of this damage during this phase is dark. Like, I think his cloak is dark damage, so it probably would be worth, honestly, going for more dark damage defense over physical. I don't know. Oop. In which case I should actually, whoops, crap. I should check how my armor is doing for dark defense. See if I need some better dark defense armor. Please, just like punch him once. I don't know why his model is so difficult to hit during this phase. I like have never realized how difficult it is. It almost feels like his hitbox is further inside of his body than his actual model. Or his hurt box is further inside his hitbox than it should be. Which is frustrating. Because that definitely makes this fight a whole lot harder. Oh, whoa. Interesting. He started up that AoE. I mean, he did the wind up for the AoE before I staggered him, but I just wasn't expecting him to continue after I staggered him. Alright, I'm finding some slightly better opportunities to get more hits in, so I just need to keep up with that. That'll make this phase go by a bit faster, and then it'll make everything else a bit easier. So this game does have omnidirectional dodging, which means I can dodge, you know, theoretically I can dodge at the perfect angle to dodge through that attack and not get hit by the cloak afterwards, but it is very difficult, so I need to try and figure that out. And by that I mean it's gonna be something that like I have to kind of refigure out on a dodge by dodge basis, because I'm always gonna be at a different angle. Oops, did not mean to do a running attack. Yeah, I deserved that. I deserved to get hit there. We're like pretty low on Estus right now, but all is not truly lost because we are figuring this phase out more. And as soon as we figure out this phase, it's just the last phase, and last phase can go pretty fast if you do it right. Oh, interesting. Whee! Nice. Oops. Alright. Now. I didn't want to, because those Corona discs are hanging out like at their end point before they actually come in, and they will do damage while they're there. So I was worried about running into them and taking damage. Nice. Dodge out. Oops. Yeah, I think actually on that AoE I kind of want to dodge in so that I can be sure I don't get hit. Oh, he's teleporting. He usually doesn't do that teleport if he's, you know, only like 3 feet away from you. He usually does that if you go really far. But he was feeling spicy today, I guess. Oof, yeah. Don't know why I tried to continue attacking there. Once again, I think I'm getting too greedy at this point, which I can't do when we get to this last phase, especially with only 3 Estus. I was lucky I didn't get hit there. Although not super lucky, I have actually like done that exact move many times before, not just tonight, but like in general, so I'm pretty used to knowing exactly the amount of distance for that one attack. I don't know why for that one attack in particular, but why is your model so difficult to hit? All right. So once again, we're in the same situation as we were last fight, where we can't really afford to get hit that much. There it is. I love that attack. This model is impossible to hit. Oh my goodness. Please. I'm begging you. just reach your arms out a little bit. Maybe it's because of all this heavy armor I'm wearing. I'm like T-Rex arming it. Please. Please. Please! Punch him! There we go. So obviously I messed up a lot on this run. Most of this run is my fault, but I'm going to place like 80% of the blame just because I can on my T-Rex arms. It's all their fault. If I just had wider, longer range on my arms, then we wouldn't be in this situation. Although, I mean, we've already seen through numerous other occasions, especially on Half-Life Spear of the Church, that the T-Rex arms are really, genuinely, exceedingly detrimental. They make things really tough. No, dude, don't do the teleport. I hate the teleport because that just means that you have a solid 30 seconds, not 30, that's what an exaggeration. You have a solid like 8 seconds that you just can't do any damage. So I have an idea after we die here that I want to try out. But right now we're gonna keep going and until we die so that we can get some good practice. Also because, I mean, you know, I want to have the Ember as a free heal, because every little bit is gonna help on this fight. So my idea is possibly going no armor, also maybe even no shield, and going Flynn's Ring. So the thing is, the reason why I want to go for something like Flynn's Ring there is because I think as it stands right now, this armor, like, it's helping us, but I think getting a ton of extra damage is going to be more worthwhile, so that we can speed through the whole fight. Because there is something to be said about just simple exhaustion. When you get a certain amount of time into a fight, you just get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm just like, I'm messing up everywhere. Everything is going wrong. So I think what we're going to do is that, and then we're even going to do the Dragon Torso Stone, which should give us some dark defense, I believe. No lightning defense, which we don't care about. Yeah, so that's going to help us a lot with dark during the second and third phase. And if it's instead fire, I don't think it's fire, I think it's dark, but if it is fire, then we're even better off. Or magic, we're fine off too. So no physical defense at all, unfortunately, which is going to make this a bit scary. So we'll see how this goes. If this doesn't work, then we'll go back to armor and just be in for the long haul. But making this fight take a little bit less time, I think, is going to be more worthwhile, because as it stands, it takes a very long time and gets very tiring. Unfortunately, though, this low armor means that we don't really have the option of getting hit very much, like, in a row. Usually whenever we get hit, we're going to immediately need to heal, because you can see a second hit. Actually, a second hit would not be death, I think. Let's risk it and see if we can go long enough to get either just into the next phase or a second hit, because I believe that amount of health is actually just enough to allow us to. It was not. It was not enough health. So yeah, so we can't, when we're unembered, we can only take we can only take one hit. We cannot take a second one. That's fine. So now we know we will need to use our ember as soon as we get hit the first time. That is no problem. Oh, that's not good. All right. Well, I'm actually gonna just let him kill me, because I don't want to start off like that. I mean, you know, I could just use the ember, but at that point, I may as well have just not gotten hit and gone in with the ember active. I want to use the ember as a heal, like when it's actually a worthwhile thing. Oh, oops. Well, we've got a long run up. Also, I could use the torso stone here for some extra damage. It increases your damage by 10%, but only for 6 seconds, so, and it costs a lot of stamina. Oh, never mind. That's a lot more than, just 10%. Interesting. I wonder if I could actually use that to my advantage. I might be able to when he does his, like, long combo. I might be able to actually, use it and then go in for a few hits. Would help just a little bit, but we'll see. That might be a little too min-maxy. Oops. Risky, risky, risky. Okay. I was waiting for him to do his third attack. Come on. I know you want to do your leap into the air and slam. Punch. Yeah, so that's good for like 1 to 2 punches. It's not bad. I mean, it essentially adds up to like 3 punches with the Dragonstone active, like the buff active, would amount to like one extra punch. So I mean, that's really not too bad. Over time, that would definitely add up. Oop. Whew. I got lucky he didn't. he just like spontaneously went blind for a second there. All right. So this is where we can possibly do a Dragon Torso Stone. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize I was right up against the wall. Oh, my eyes itching. Tried to dodge that one. For whatever reason, it didn't. I'm not quite sure why. Ah! Alright. Torso Stone. Cool. Well, I'm glad that we wasted that. Whoa. Okay, so that's not something I really had planned for. If he hits you with that first attack and you have no armor, you cannot poise through it, and so you will guaranteed die then, because both those hits do extra damage apparently. So that's an issue. So I think we're gonna give like one more attempt with this, but based off of that alone and just how quickly I can die during this fight, which was my big concern with doing something like this, I may end up switching back to the to having actual armor. But it is nice to actually be dealing some real damage. Yeah, I tried to get greedy and not roll so I could immediately punish. You can see how that went. We also need to be careful. I mean, we still have 5 embers, but that's 4 less than we had when we started here, I think. Oh. Nope. Yeah. My hubris. So I do have another idea for something that we could do, but I need to, I'll need to look something up before I actually do it, because I don't know for sure if it actually would work. Or, like, I know it would work, I don't know for sure how well it would work. No, boy. I didn't realize I ran out of stamina there. It's taken, like, it's so rare that I actually even run out of stamina while doing fists only here, because it just, because fists cost, you know, basically no stamina. Hey, nice. We got 4 hits off with that dragon stone that time. Or dragon buff. So while we're working our way through this very while I'm greeting my way through this phase and getting punished for it, so there's I'll talk about something that I want to do at some point in the future, and if no one's interested in it at all, we don't have to do it, but I feel like it's going to be a kind of cool thing. Plus it will actually be kind of popular for a short time when it comes out. So obviously when Elden Ring comes out, we are going to be playing that. I think that's going to be basically like until we beat that game for the first time on stream, that will be the only thing that I stream, other than obviously the talk shows. Oh, I don't know how that hit me. Whoa, that flung me. Okay. There were all 3 of those hits were very questionable. I'm not quite sure how that happened. But anyways, let's see, Lothric War Banner is what I want to look up. So there's that's coming out in like February 22nd or something, I think, like sometime late February. But there is another thing coming out in January, late January. I think it's January 22nd, which is actually like a week away. Not a week away, that's 5 days away. I guess, would that be Friday or Saturday? I don't know. But so let's see. Saturday. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna try this. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So on that day, a new mod is coming out. A mod called Nightfall for Dark Souls 1. And this mod is made by the same person who made the Daughters of Ash mod, for anyone that's familiar with that. That's like people who watch channels like Lobos Jr. or the lot of them. Sorry, I need to look something else up real quick. People who watch those channels might be familiar with the in the world. Let's see. I'm sorry, I don't mean to just suddenly stop. I'm just trying to see if there's any. I'm looking up Gale real quick to see if there's any knowledge on if he's doing dark damage or what. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't say what type of damage he deals. Oh, darkened thrust in the third phase, second and third phase. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it is dark damage. So anyways, sorry. So this Nightfall mod is coming out at that point in on the 22nd on Saturday, and I believe it's the 22nd. I could be wrong, but it is a very exciting thing because this mod has been something that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a really long time, including me. I am a huge fan of the mod creator. I think they have done some really cool things, and they are quite an inspiration for mod potential mod developers everywhere. So so that's something that I would like to stream when it comes out. Now, if I'm like, you know, if I'm the only one that would really be interested in something like that, then you know, I'll say okay to that, and we don't have to stream that mod. But I think it could be really fun because it would be exploring the mod for the first time. Now, Granted, there's bound to be some sort of bugs here and there because it's not an official game. Even if it was an official game, there would definitely be bugs anyways, because every official game that releases nowadays is just littered with bugs. But the point is, it is like entirely possible that there would be some pretty severe issues that would possibly prevent progression through the game. But I still think it would be really fun to actually play and to experience for the first time. The mod is like a complete and total overhaul of Dark Souls 1. I mean, it's supposed to take place after, like immediately after Dark Souls 1 happens, and you actually start falling into the arena as you see the player killing Gwyn, and then the player leaves, and it basically goes after the player chooses the quote unquote bad ending, where they release darkness onto the world, and so you go around and do stuff with that. And there's like a lot of new bosses, some new models, even like a whole lot of really new unique things. So it seems like it'll be really quite cool. And I am excited to experience it. I'm definitely going to be watching Mr. Lobos Jr. play it quite a bit. But yeah, so if you guys would be interested in watching me play through something like that, a mod for Dark Souls 1, I would love to do it. So let me know if there are any objections, and if there's not, then you know, we can count on doing that. Okay, so what in the world did I just get? This thing here is the Lothric War Banner, and now it may look like I'm picking up a weapon, and if I was to do this, then yes, I would be using it as an actual weapon, but we're not going to use it as a weapon. Did I say weapon enough? So let's see, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I should wear. What has, like, this has still decent dark defense, bad thrust though. I would like to have good thrust, considering that's what his damage in the last phase is, which would be the Dragon Slayer stuff. If I go to that, sorry, let's see. So this would give horrible thrust, but that would at least give good dark resist, although that's not particularly helpful. Xanthus Crown sucks. Let's see, what about, 69.9, just barely. All right, that's fine. We'll do that. Not great dark defense, but that's fine. Oh, I don't like that. But the thing that this is going to help us with is when you press the, oops. All right, so you have to have it equipped like this, and then you can put it down, and then you get a buff here that lasts for 2 minutes. And so at that point, then I don't need to do whatever. I need to keep this thing equipped in a hand, but I mean, obviously I'm not going to attack. If I actually accidentally damage him with this, then I will immediately either let him kill me or just homeward bone back. But for 2 minutes, then we will get this buff, and we can do it twice at all before we run out of mana to do it again. Now that buff gives us 15% extra damage. 15% might not seem like a whole lot, but 15% is 15%. I mean, you know, 15% of 70 damage is what, like about 10 damage. So for 4 total minutes of the fight, we can give ourselves an extra 15% damage, an extra 10 damage per hit. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself the buff. Now, if we wanted for maximum damage, we could also go Flynn's Ring with no armor, dragon thingy. See how that went, but that would be, I mean, that would be maximum damage. It would actually be pretty reasonable damage. I actually kind of would like to test that out at some point, but that would also be not great defense on our part. Not to mention, of course, this Lothric War Banner weighs a somewhat decent amount, so we wouldn't get as much of a bonus from Flynn's Ring as we would otherwise get. But it might still be worth looking into. All right, we definitely can take 1 extra hit, but we cannot take 2 extra hits. So I'm gonna wait to Ember until we absolutely need to. Another thing to keep in mind is we could do a little bit of a reroll to get some more attunement, which will give us more mana, and that way we can use this Lothric War Banner more than just twice. So we'll see if it comes down to something like that, if we want to be using it more than just twice. But I figure we can do it once in this phase and once at the start of the next phase, and then those will be like the only opportunities we really have for it, because the boss attacks just way too fast to do otherwise. Dodge. I got lucky that staggered him. Because he was about to slam me. Alright, buff's gone. I'm gonna put it away just because it's kind of blocking. It's not blocking anything, but it's very distracting. Oof. I got way too greedy there. Okay, we're good. Oh. He's like the Express Owls from A Hat in Time with the ooh. What is your mother's, sister's, cousin's, firstborn's name? I see. Thank you for telling me this information, fellow Express Owl. Tell me, fellow Express Owl, what is your favorite string of numbers and letters? Oh, yes, I see. Is a great string of numbers and letters. And then the ones hanging out in the bar talking to each other. Even if there was a giant fire! Right as he was about to sneeze! Love the crows. They're so great. All right. Phase 2, all my Estus. It's a good start. Let's get myself a buff. But we got to keep this in our other hand. Obviously, we're not going to use it. But we have to keep it held. I mean, we're not going to attack with it, but we have to keep it held in order for it to actually have an effect. All right, that was greed because I I get sick of not being able to hit him sometimes because of the hitbox. Seriously though, I mean, this hitbox is really weird. I don't know why we're having so much trouble actually damaging him. Dodge in. I gotta stop dodging that direction. I'm running round and round like a constipated wiener dog. Alright. Let's get a few more hits in. Oh, dang it. I thought he staggered. He most certainly did not. Yeah. Alright, heal up. Oh, thought I might be able to just run past that and not get hit. Alright, well there's the stagger finally. Nice. Alright, there we go. We're getting a few good hits in now. Getting into the... Okay, well, I was gonna say getting into the rhythm, but then I get hit immediately. Yeah, I think probably dodge to the right and away when he's doing the Arbalest is usually the best bet. Or dodging like that, where I'm like going behind him, also kind of works. Nope. Meant to dodge to the left. I think that was my hand just not correctly working. Alright. So, buff's gone, and I'm out of mana to use another one. So, we'll go ahead and do the rest of this fight as per usual. Ay. I didn't think the thing that was going to cause me the most trouble on this fight was just his dang hitbox. Like, look at that. Where am I supposed to hit? This is ridiculous. Even when I just hit in front of him, it doesn't work. Like, I'm convinced they misplaced his hitbox like way further into his model than it's supposed to be, because there is no way that like 80% of those did not hit. Or I shouldn't say of those, of all of the hits that I've tried to do today. I imagine he would, the boss himself would be very much dead if all of the ones that should count did count. Nice. Oh, okay. I don't know why he did the double stagger. Both of those two just didn't hit. I was punching him on the butt, and it didn't even count. The butt. Alright, cool. None of them are over here. Get a few hits. I every time I see that move, I just let out a dumb laugh because it's so cool. Like, it's like one of the coolest moves anyone has ever done. Just jumping into the air and shooting the arbalest. Don't want to get hit by those. Oh boy, that's lightning. Alright. I was a little too close to the lightning there. I do wish the lightning did a little bit more damage to Gale, because I think that would kind of be a fun little skill thing to like lure him into the lightning. But it only does 1 damage, so it's essentially just non-existent. And it doesn't make him like take extra damage or anything. That would have been like my other suggestion with the lightning, is make it that it causes Gale to like take extra damage. But oh well, it's not a big deal. It's just like, it would be cool if that was the case. It would be a neat little skill thing. Okay, I am so happy that that staggered him, because I was about to take a real butt whipping just because I was getting too frustrated by the hits not counting, and just kind of started spamming. Once again, dodged the wrong way. There we go. Thought I had enough to... Whoa! Jeez, man. Come on. My dodges are getting all super delayed. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. But there goes like all of our extra S's that we had going into this phase, I guess. All thrown away because the hitboxes of this boss are genuinely terrible. Like, his attack hitboxes are actually great. I think it makes for a super satisfying fight to dodge. It just does not make for a super satisfying fight to damage, I guess. Run! Ba, ba. 2 hits, run. Maybe could have gotten a 3rd hit, but that attack does a lot of damage if you get hit by it, so best not to risk it. Oh, another one, wow. While I say best not to risk it, it is good to still try and get like something for it, because it's just free damage. So risky on my part not dodging that. Oof. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. I am not a dog. I am not a dog. I am not a dog. I would hold my 2 fingers up to be like Richard Nixon, but I cannot afford to not have both hands on the controller right now. That cloak always hits me. Meanwhile, my fists never hit Gale, apparently. There we go. I got 1 hit. Alright, we're almost out of Estus flasks, and we have a lot of fight to go. It would help if these punches were fully counting. That was about as close as you can cut it on getting out of there in time. I think these angles when he's up above me really help. If I can get him to be right there. Wow, I don't know what in the world, all the stuff that hit me there. Then I can hit him a lot easier. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's actually just completely having to do with height differences that's causing issues with his hitboxes. Because this arena is very, very much all over the place. Also one of the coolest arenas in the game, but sometimes kind of annoying for the height difference. Yeah, I need to find a way. I think I need to start just trying to dodge out of that, because I keep getting hit by just little bits of extra damage. Alright. Bad direction to dodge. Let's just move away. Alright, that's fine. Just let him let him tucker himself out. 1 punch. Alright. I'm kind of figuring out the wonky hitboxes, and I think it is exactly just having to do with height. So I just need to try and keep him either on my level or above me. Above me would actually help a bit more because it makes it harder for him to hit me, but wow. I should have unlocked my camera and seen where I was running there. Yeah, because right there I was above him, and I had trouble. Alright. I don't want to be here, though, because of those chairs, because they really screw stuff up. Perfect, a few hits. Nope. It's too high up. Perfect, 3 hits. Almost there. Don't get greedy now, because I've got no Estus, so I cannot afford to make a mistake. Got greedy. Oh, come on. Yes. Oh, wow. That was a crazy last fight. That was cool, though. Oh, whoops. That was really cool. So once I figured out the hitboxes, the weird stuff going on with the hitboxes, that really wasn't too bad. I'm surprised it took me so long to figure out what was going on with the hitboxes, to be perfectly honest, because I've always had that problem with weird hitboxes based off of height on this fight, but I never, like, put 2 and 2 together. Pog. Very much Pog. But as soon as I figured those out, like, the rest of the fight, whoops, is not really too bad. But I think, honestly, like, completely truthfully, the reason why I won that was a mix of, like, a lot of practice, just today, like, a lot of times doing it over and over again, and also a lot of like a lot of kind of learning what was going on in the fight, why certain attacks weren't landing. And then the Lothric War Banner, that helped a lot because that gave me an extra, like that, I think that sped that essentially sped the first 2 phases up by 15% while it was active. So they were active for about half the fight, half the time, so it sped those phases up by about 7.5%. So like really, it's very worth it if it's going to speed it up by even something as small as that, because those first 2 phases were the ones that were causing me so much difficulty. They were the ones that were causing me to lose during the last phase because I just didn't have enough Estus to actually survive it. So, but we've done it now, and that is every single boss of Dark Souls 3 killed with fists only. I have finally officially finished the challenge after all this time. That was a crazy, crazy challenge. I'm glad that I did it. Clap, thank you. Singular clap. I started this like 2 months ago, and it's just for various reasons I haven't been able to complete it until now. But finally,